Us coming to you live from the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. So many guys moving in and out of programs. Long is going to hand it off, and not much going there at all. Nice defensive play on both of these teams. First-year head coaches was that it was going to be an up-tempo team, NCA&T, and there again, not much going for threes or so. Long sends his man in motion, has a little bit of time, able to complete it out to the 30, still on his feet and close to the first down marker, but I believe did not play last year before deciding to come here to TSU. On the ground, busting forward, and a gain of about 9.5, but stayed here at Tennessee State University even when Eddie George left as head coach, now at Bowling Green, and that is just out of the reach there.
Second nature, that's what he's talking about.
Palmer, not much time as he's sent scrambling. He'll have to throw this one away. Now that number's up to 108. So he and his crew had a lot of work to do to get to where they are today as far as numbers and talent goes. Here stumbling forward just across the 20 yards. All different quarterbacks in the game for North Carolina A&T. And here, not much going for Braxton Thomas. So game at quarterback for North Carolina A&T. And the handoff there, nothing going. Wesley Graves was 1 yard loss, 2nd and 11. Another handoff goes across the field, and a gain of a few yards before being brought down.
Yeah, number 2.
The Aggies trying to keep their drive alive. Long, a little bit of time, not much, and is able to find his receiver and a fresh set there. So a 7-yard pickup. It'll be a 2nd down and 3. Long again hands it off, and using that body size, a solid productive group with a lot of guys returning and a lot of experience up front. And here it's Graves off to the left side, and he is racing in to the end zone.
Look, that cut right there. Once he makes that cut, goes outside, he runs away. The DB is out of the screen.
Right,
the big
yes.
fella's running right now. Love through the hole. Then he bounced outside. Then he turned on the burners there and got into the end zone.
A&T. And the extra point is up and good. Sets within the offense. Here Palmer has a little bit of time across the middle, and that is complete across midfield and off to the races. 20, 10, 5 into the end zone. TSU quick. Guy that the coaches are high on, a new face here as that kick is up, and it is good. So we're all tied up at 7 apiece here with 6.
He can take it all the way to the house like he did there.
Strong hands, good routes. A couple of other keys as far as Slaughter's game go, and
let's see if they can do it consistently. I saw Coach Williams down there have the little telestrator out and was showing up.
One of the big things he talked to us about this week was James Stewart's first step, lightning quick, and you want to see that. And again, this time Long Long under some pressure, dumps it off, and nothing going there. He was able to find Shamik Blizzard, them onto a championship, and now here in TSU, at TSU together, and hoping the same type of thing can come true. Handoff here goes out to about the 40-yard line, still on his feet, churning forward. We went to interviews. We watched a lot of interviews with the A&T coaches, both current and former, just talking about their situation, and that one, nothing going. The royal blue wearing TSU Tigers. Palmer has a little bit of time, going deep. Here's a guy that they've really leaned on as far as leadership goes with his experience, and he's really grasped the leadership role as his punt will take a friendly bounce. As Long barks out what he wants, he'll hand it off, and a couple yard pick.
Offensive lineman there making that tackle for a loss.
Here's Palmer. He's handing off, and nothing going there at all for Kendrick Rhymes. Happen as Palmer has a little bit of time, trying to create a little bit more, dumps it off, and again, nothing going. They are, and you credit the Aggies offense so far here early on, but there, Grimes unable to hold on to it.
Quarterback switch with Braxton Thomas back in the game.
Second time this afternoon we've seen him. A high snap. And immediately in there, TSU, what they want to do here in a tie game. He's going to keep it himself. Has a little bit of room, but is nowhere near a first down. As Palmer looks to settle in after not playing last year at Gardner-Webb, trying to feel a rhythm and not much there. 39 NFL draft picks. So a pretty successful program. That play, not overly successful. As who else? James. So it'll be a second down and 10. Long. Went back to pass, has it knocked loose. And TSU says they have it. So here's Palmer, who's going to hand it off. And Rhymes is going to chug forward for about 5 yards or so.
Look at 215 on the outside. You start looking at that size.
Here's Palmer, has a bit of time as he goes up top and deep and just out of the reach. He was looking for, but they're about to play again. Here's Palmer as he reaches out and passes off to Jason Hoth, not from the 41-yard line. Amadi Jones is the deep man for the Aggies, and he'll run out. That one will get into the end zone. So it's in a tie game, 7:31 to play here in the second quarter, as Long, under some pressure, dumps it off, and nothing going there. Shot it past
right now.
James Stewart, number 7 for TSU, and loose ball, still loose. Couple Tigers in on it.
Nashville, Tennessee area.
TSU trying to take advantage of it. Here Palmer checks off, passes still in the air, but TSU trying to get into the end zone here again in the first half. Palmer slings it out, finds Rhymes, who has a pickup of about 4 or 5 yards. 91 from the Space City from Houston, Texas. Here's the handoff again to Rhymes. Not much going, but he's still on his feet. Able to churn. I'll go with that. That's over the head and racing back on it and tackled. Wow. Was in on that stop. Second big play of the afternoon we've seen from him. Here's Palmer still on his feet to the 30. Across the of the game, of the season, and in a Tennessee Tigers uniform. That one is up and that one is good. Handoff. This time, nothing going, and they were ready for it. Freshman number 2 there in the middle for TSU, shoving back. Now moving out is Thomas, and he is about the 45-yard line.
Some love on that defensive side, too, for North Carolina A&T.
Here's the handoff, pushing forward, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, but I'm not so sure. Here's Thomas as he shuttles it over, still on his feet, down to the 10. Half. Handoff up the middle, still on his feet, churning forward and into the end zone. Pocket in which Graves could operate. We're going to push it in early on in this game. This time they're going to shove it into the end zone. TSU saying not so fast. A&T is on to kick the extra point. To hold, the kick, and carried the ball 9 times. You mentioned we expect to see him carried about 20 times or so. There's a pickup of Aggies up 4, just underway here in the third quarter. Handoff goes to Rhymes as he churns forward. Set for TSU. Palmer has a little bit of time, able to complete the pass. Rhythm, and again, as we've hit on, a lot of new players on the roster playing together for the first time ever, so rhythm and chemistry, something tough as handoff here, back to Rhymes, and another fresh set. He's still. Here's Palmer, slings it over, and finds a receiver. Again, a pickup of about 5 yards, brings up a 2nd and 3. Again, the handoff this time to Rhymes as he rushes forward to stand next to him. And shockingly, the handoff goes back to Rhymes, and why not keep going back there? Jaden Guy, who just came off the field. Palmer racing back and able to complete it to Rhymes. Running back in for TSU. Palmer has a little bit of time, but that is squunched. And the loose ball, so it'll be a 1st down and 10 from the 10. A gain of a couple yards, but not much.
Coaches are really impressed with him.
Quarterback slings it out, and it's going to be caught. Pick up here, but it's going to be 10 from the 40. Palmer quickly hands it off. Here's Rhymes to the 50, still on his feet to the 40. Puts on the accelerator to the 10-5, into the end zone, touchdown.
Knows he sees no one. Look at him walking by people. Just get into that end zone, running hard.
Tigers retake the lead.
What a play by Rhymes. I told you, you give him the ball enough, he has.
And here's Freddie Perez with the extra point attempt. That is up, and it is good. Straightens things here as they have a 1st and 10 on their own 25-yard line. Thomas under some pressure, and he's not going to get
the game the way it's supposed to be played.
5'11", 280-pounder in on that big stop here. Pass is complete. Here's Thomas, again taking his time, this time able to get it off. We'll see what he has up his sleeve here on a 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. He's going to hand it off, and up the middle there for a gain of about.
Run the play that they called on.
Long hands it off, and nothing going there. So it'll be a 3rd down and 1, and loss of the snap for the Aggies. Long steps up, looks to tower the pass, but play on a 2nd and 12 situation. And here he sees the pocket crumble and coughs it. 9 seconds to play here in the 3rd. Palmer will hand it off, and enough catch back in the 1st. And here, off to the races, sprinting forward is Rhymes. Running over half the football field and scoring for the Tigers.
Huge hole.
Freddie Perez on to kick the extra point. It is up, and it's in. And here, Thomas flips it over out to about the 30-yard line. Center was Andrew Dorsey, by the way. Here, bumbling forward down to Thomas, orchestrating, handing off, a flag thrown. Thomas handing it off here to Graves. Here's Thomas as he looks across the middle. Has made his presence felt here this afternoon. Here's Graves taking 3 times for the Tigers. Couple of the Tigers backing up on defense. Thomas under some pressure, creates a little time, creating more time, looking to dump it downfield, and he's able to find Abate Jones off to the races, and Jones showing off some speed.
That's what Braxton Thomas brings to this foot. Point, go, go, go. Throws that ball deep. Nice throw.
Extra points as Andrew Brown has an angle on it. It is up, and it is. Here's Palmer. He'll hand it off. How about the legs churning here, pushing that.
Where you want your offensive line to have.
Mid-range passes completed as well that we didn't really see in the first half. Here Palmer will hand it off, and nothing going for Rhymes. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 as Palmer goes to work. Quickly slings it across the middle, pick up about 4. You can see the Aggies creeping up, coming in, slinging it over as Palmer. That's going to be Thomas keeping it himself. And again,
and that made him move because he was on first down.
Handoff here. Goes for a few yards. Head coach Sean Gibbs. Handoff here for a couple yards. As Palmer takes it, hands it off, and out to about midfield. Dillard set in motion. Thomas looks right at Dillard. That's where he goes, and that was telegraphed and from their own 11-yard line. Here's Thomas. He slings it out, and that'll be almost ESPN Plus. We hope you'll join us either in person or on the broadcast. Handoff here. Goes forward for Thomas. Has a little bit of time. Not much. Now he's under pressure. Scampering away and finding a receiver. The hold. And it's blocked. Getting a hand on it. The top.
That ball so they can pick it up and go the other way.
For Darren Arbetz, I'm Dan Lang saying so long from